Welcome to City Connections. I'm your host, Nancy DeBoer, and we are here to have a little wrap-up from Tulip Time 2014. We're going to start by talking with Gwen Awerda, who is the Executive Director of Tulip Time. So, hey, Gwen, it's over.
It's over.
2014.
It's over. It was a fabulous year.
Wasn't
fabulous
it, though?
festival.
Oh, what kind of numbers are you showing for the people that came this year, maybe in comparison to other years? Do you have any of that yet? I know this is early.
It's early. We don't really have all that data yet, and so many of the things people come to see are free, and so we don't get a count. But I know that the Saturday parade, people were lined up from the edge of the street all the way to the stores, and busiest I've seen it in the 4 years I've been in this job.
Yeah, when I was in the parade on Wednesday and Saturday, it was just thick rows of people. They could hardly, they had to breathe together basically, which was so awesome.
It was so great.
So if you're a tourist and you come to Tulip Time, what is like the most popular event?
There's 3 to 4 things people tend to call us about that they want to do. First of all, they want to come see the beautiful tulips. And they want to know where they are and when they're in bloom and what day of the week are the red ones going to bloom. Because that's what they're here for.
Right.
Then secondarily, they come to the parades. The Dutch dancing is always a huge hit. People love that. And you know, some who are here for a number of days begin to pick up on, you know, what do I do while I'm here? So is that a show or art and craft fair or something?
Yeah, so like attraction, do they always buy like a ticket for several things, or do they just kind of wander around and find attractions that they like? Or
typically they buy tickets for several things when they're here.
Okay.
We encourage people to come out here to the beautiful Windmill Island Gardens and Dutch Village and Veldheers, and so we give them all that detail of things that they can do while they're in town, and most people do take us up on all those ideas.
Cool. So what kind of new things? I know you guys are really working hard with all types of revamping of Tulip Time and trying new stuff. What did you launch this year?
This year we tried to find a few things that engaged the community. So our Dutch dogs on parade on Wednesday was the cutest thing. We had over 35 dogs and their owners in the parade, and that was great, and that went over really well.
At the tail end of the parade?
At the tail end, yes.
Perfect.
That was perfect. We also had a pig in the blanket contest. So we all love pig in the blankets, and so it was bring your favorite recipe, and we had judges that got to select their favorite. So that's always fun.
Yeah, that was smart. What a great idea. We've been doing pigs in the blankets for how many years?
For years.
And people move here saying, what is that? Never heard of it?
Never heard of it.
So how important do you think it is that like the city and Tulip Time kind of work together in making this festival happen for everybody?
It's extremely important. We couldn't do what we do without the city. Yeah. You know, we don't own any land, and we don't plant any tulips. And so for Tulip Time to be really a community event and be part of the city and the parks that all have tulips planted, it really makes it a great partnership between our organization and the city.
Yeah, it is. Everybody turns out, every age, right? We probably have, what, 5 to 90? In participating in some capacity. It's great. So, I mean, this is huge. It doesn't happen by itself. I mean, it doesn't like, oh, wake up this week and I'll put on a little festival at the end of the week. It takes some planning. When do you start working on next year?
I started 3 weeks ago, actually, before the festival started. We start thinking through next year and looking at our entertainment lineups, and we're currently going through the debrief process, so we meet with all the organizations that provided entertainment. We look at our ticket sales and all those things. We have to have the schedule done by the 1st of August because we go to print with our fall preview brochure as well as the group tour market in October. The tickets go on sale the 1st of November.
Oh, wow.
So it really is a year-round process, and we don't stop and regroup. I mean, we regroup and start the next one all at the same time.
So everybody thinks, well, that committee, they're all in Adirondack chairs, kind of sipping their lemonade, looking over stuff from last year. No, you're still running.
We're still running, and there's a lot of cleanup. I mean, we had signs all over the city and banners and things that we had to clean up last week, and now we're starting to get, you know, kind of get our feet back on the ground and think ahead, and that's part of what this job is year-round, and many people don't think about it that way because, again, they show up. They don't think about the festival till the snow's gone.
Right.
But
Which
for us,
was
it's
barely before the festival this year.
Exactly. Exactly.
15 minutes to go, quick. So we have tulips planted all over the place, like you said, that the city does, and also Valdiers does some tulips and a lot of tulips, and so Dutch Village. And how many tulips do you think are planted throughout this whole area for people to enjoy?
6 million is the number that we have from all the attractions in the city and in terms of what they plant. So as you can see behind us, they're just beautiful.
I know. Is there anything like the color of a field of tulips?
No.
It's just so dramatic. They are such a regal flower, and each one is like its own bouquet.
Right.
So how about volunteers? You got 6 million tulips. We have, what, 500,000 visitors probably. And how do you handle that? We can't just do that with staff. We can't possibly pay that many people. So how many volunteers are you doing?
This year we had about 1,000.
1,000
volunteers.
That is a lot in today's world.
That is a lot, and thankfully this community and the spirit around the community to help host this festival is wonderful, because we really couldn't do it without that. I mean, they're doing things from helping people get on the bleachers to pick up trash to hosting at shows and being ushers. So it's really a very broad community effort to get everything done.
Wow. So if people are watching this and thinking, yeah, that doesn't sound like such a bad job, I bet I could help usher people at a program, or I could put up a sign, or I could help with cleanup, but I don't know I don't know how to do that, when to do that. What should they do?
They should call our office and talk to us, and we like to match people up with where their skill sets are. Some people want to be behind the scenes, others want to be ushering, they've got the gift of hospitality. So we try to look at what you want to do and match you up with an event or a job that would fit that.
People not only come here one year, but they may repeatedly come here. What's that attraction, do you think?
People say to me, this community is amazing, and how welcoming it is, and people stop them in the street if they look lost, and can I help you find something, a restaurant or whatever. In the community is just gorgeous. I mean, I look at what the Parks Department does downtown Holland, and you never would know that there was a parade the day before when you're back downtown at 7 a.m. the next morning. It's spotless.
It is unbelievable, isn't it? It's the Disney factor going on everywhere.
Absolutely.
And you kind of feel it through the whole population. All of us, whether we have a role, an official role or not, we're here to make the place look good and to help the people feel good. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and what more do you want,
So many people say to me, I want to retire here. This is really a lovely community. And then I say, well, have you even gotten out to Lake Michigan? No, where's that? Oh. There's a whole nother piece of what the community offers outside of the festival that people really thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah, so when people come here and enjoy being here and want to remember it, what kind of things do they buy, like for little mementos? Do you have any idea on that?
People buy a variety of things. We've got, our annual poster contest, and so we always have merchandise around that. People buy that. Our coffee mugs fly off the shelves. Yeah. People buy Delft, which you can get both, in many places, a lot of the gift stores, and that's what people tend to take home, are things that will remind them of their time spent here.
Yeah, something uniquely, authentically
that you
Dutch.
Can't buy elsewhere.
Right. They want not anywhere USA.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So Bill Cosby was here.
Oh my
goodness.
The
Bill Cosby.
The Bill Cosby.
How fun was that?
Wonderful. We sold out by February.
Wow.
And he did 2 fabulous shows. We contracted for 90 minutes. He did over 2 hours at both of them.
Unbelievable.
And I took him back to the airport, and it was another comedy routine in the car. He is on all the time. He is so funny. I had tears rolling down my face as I drove him as I drove him back, because he is a wonderful person.
Yeah.
I got to spend a little time with him, and he was great.
How special is that? Yeah. I know. He just seemed to be so much himself when he comes out in a sweatsuit with a hoodie and sweatpants, and I'm like, okay, a box of Kleenex and a bottle of water for 2 hours and 15 minutes, no notes, nothing. Right. Just a natural.
And each show was different. I had the pleasure of being able to see both, and they were a little different.
It was too fun. I just love being a part of it, and it's the kind of show you can go to and just relax and enjoy being there, and you could feel that whole auditorium feeling that way. And I bet you had great reactions from other shows as well that were selling out. I heard people saying, yeah, I tried to get a ticket for Fiddle Fire or whatever, it's all gone. A lot of popular shows. A
lot of our shows sold out again this year, and we're blessed with that, and we're trying to attract all ages. Yeah. And our programming, and that can be challenging to know what people want because we're planning a year ahead. Sometimes you don't know if a musical group is popular or not yet.
Right. So it changes every 15 minutes.
It does. So it is challenging, but yeah, we do offer things for all generations, and I think Bill Cosby was an example of that. He's really timeless.
Right. Either you saw reruns or you saw the original.
Right. Exactly.
And you laughed through both of them.
Right.
Right. That's cool. So what new events? I know this is probably top secret, and it's from the inner sanctum of Tulip Time committee, barely leaking out, but is there anything you plan for next year you can release?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I wish, but we just haven't even gotten to that point of engaging in any conversation specifically to know who that's going to be, but it's going to be hard to top this year, honestly, but we're going to try hard.
Yeah, you always try to get like one real headliner.
Correct. There's one, and then the local art and culture organizations are still a very big piece of what we do, and the entertainment that they provide, along with what I'll call purchased entertainment. You know, Vocal Trash was here this year, and they put on a fabulous show. And people said, I wish I really knew what they did, because I went and it was high energy and great. You know, we may bring them back, I don't know. So
Gwen, this year was a little different in that we had the Dutch ambassador here, actually flew in by helicopter for the governor's luncheon. That's pretty dramatic. Not everybody saw it, but how fun is that, and how neat to have someone actually from the Netherlands come in for this. How'd you arrange that with Tulip Time and all that?
Well, thanks to Mayor Dykstra, he extended an invitation to him. He knows him and said you really need to come to Holland and appreciate what we look at as our heritage from the Netherlands. And we toured him through the windmill. We went to the Holland Museum and looked at the paintings, the lovely paintings that are at the museum. And he was really impressed with how we valued the tradition and the old in our heritage. We also took him to the Johnson Controls battery plant.
Oh, cool.
So look at new and look at innovation and look at our workforce and talk about the work ethic of the Dutch settlers and then the work ethic that is still here in Holland today.
Right.
And so we had a great visit with him. I don't know the last time that level of official from the Netherlands has been here, but we just thoroughly enjoyed having him.
Well, that is great, and it's always good to make sure that we have those ties and make them tighter. And I know business in the Netherlands is interested in business in the United States and vice versa. Right. So Gwen, we talk about how the volunteers all show up and we bring in 500,000 tourists, and there must be some kind of economic impact to all of that. I know, what's the Tulip Time budget itself?
We have over $1 million budget. And we bring in over $1 million, and that's a combination of our ticket sales for our events that do have admission and sponsorship. And so if you're a local business, we also look for sponsorship from you to help us with our bottom line. We also try to help provide you with some exposure. Sure. $10 million economic impact to the West Michigan area, 500,000 guests. You've got an opportunity to get your name out there and to work with a lot of people. Yeah.
So have you had any local businesses this year that were a particular example of launching their name and getting response?
One that is a highlight to me is Coppercraft Distillery. We went to them and said, hey, you're new, we'd like to partner with you. Could you think of a Tulip Time drink that we could do? And they came up with a fabulous Tulip Time cocktail using thyme, the spice, T-H-Y-M-E. And with them and us, we went out to almost 20 restaurants and sold their product, as well as saying, would you serve this signature drink for 2 weeks around the festival? And it's been an amazing exposure for them and partnership, and many of the restaurants have said, well, we want all of your liquor in our well.
No kidding.
And it's increased their business. It gave Tulip Time, guests something fun to taste and try. And so it was a win-win everywhere. And while we put on a party, we also want to make business connections.
So what would you recommend people do or see for next year's Tulip Time?
All of it. Come and spend the week with us. We will keep you entertained and busy. And if you want to come and volunteer, even we had some ladies from Pennsylvania that have come year after year, and they called and said, well, we're going to be there for 4 days. We'd like to volunteer. What can we do? They're not even living in this community. So
that's so
sweet.
There
are those opportunities as well to make a week of it and come with your family and have a good time.
Well, thanks for your time today, Gwen, and helping us learn all about Tulip Time. Thank you for all the hard work that you put into making Tulip Time such a wonderful time for everybody. And now let's take a little more time and look into the hard work that goes into Dutch dancing and that Dutch costume making.
We are here to select the right fabrics for the right costumes. We have 18 different costumes. 2 of them are for our kinder dancers, our elementary school dancers. 9 of them are girl style, 7 of them are boy style costumes.
This is too light.
Before we get here tonight though, there's a lot of work that's actually done by the people here at Fields Fabrics. I know we always struggle to find this, so that we got one.
Orange plaid. They're getting harder and harder to find because fabrics have turned very modern. So finding the flowers and the tone-on tones and the stripes that we need, it's a task.
This is small, but the right color.
I have compiled a book that shows historical costumes, what our dancers look like, and then what kind of fabrics are appropriate historically for the costumes that we're working with.
This one?
Can't
Like it. Or this one?
We hope to be done within 2 hours, and we have to be pretty intentional to accomplish what we need to in those 2 hours. I look like this.
And then that, and those are the 2 beads, but we didn't know how many more.
Love this.
This is really good. How about the way
We try to pick fabrics that mimic the authenticity as close as possible. There's not enough fabric.
It's ongoing. The research, the searching for fabrics goes on all year. This is the time of year we get really serious about it, and the community becomes aware that, you know, the tulips may be buried under, as it is this year, several feet of snow and resting, but we are not. We're getting ready for when they poke their heads up.
I think you're going to have the same cut, the same lapels.
Our office people are always on the eye looking for the fabric.
Collectively, those costumes have 144 different pieces, and so it's a big job to find the right fabric for the right costume. We found it!
Sharon, you rock.
Woo. This is an opportunity for our community to come together and take a look at the various Dutch dance costumes that are available, different fabrics and varieties that can be used within those costumes, and just kind of a fun night to kick off the Dutch dance season. It is a lot of fun, and you know, some of the customs were very interesting, and some of them were kind of bizarre to us, and so it's just kind of fun to learn about that. I think like it is about any people group, and sometimes it gives us more understanding into our neighbors and where they came from and some of those traits. The very best part for me though is seeing those costumes out on the street, on dancers, everybody having a good time.
There are 18 costumes in all, and so they have plenty to choose from. So there's a lot of dancers out there that are looking for their costumes right now.
people enjoying it, and there are many people that have such an appreciation for our costumes and what it takes to get them there.
13.5. And
today we'll look at the seamstress and our costume director measuring the dancer, because each of these costumes are custom fit. It's not a one size or three sizes fit all. They are made to fit the dancer exactly so that they can be comfortable, confident, and safe while they're dancing.
I think everything is going to be cut bigger.
But they do this magic they do with fabric and the patterns and tracing and cutting and getting it all ready to go and be sewn.
It's the only costume that has a colored petticoat.
We have so many dancers out on the street, and learning the dance is part of it, but certainly the costumes is a huge part of the presentation. And this is really, you know, kind of the nuts and bolts of the process, because, you know, if it's cut wrong, you know, then especially if it's cut too small or in the wrong place, then you've got a problem. So this is really where the actual construction of the costume begins with this process.
I wonder how much material they gave us.
We picked out the fabrics. That's like picking out the paint. And now we have the people that take that medium and create a piece of art from it.
The back is in one piece, the front is in two, of course, because it buttons down the front.
You know, we have costumes. I think we have one that has 3 or 4 parts, and we have one that has 9 parts. So it can vary quite a bit from costume to costume as well.
Then there's a dicky, which is a front and a back, 2 separate pieces sewn together at a shoulder, and the other shoulder is snapped out of this cute print.
From here on, it goes to the seamstress's home, and then she will work with the dancer for the fittings and the sewing of the actual costume.
This is actually the petticoat, so like a slip. I'm very careful to keep the fabric, the extra fabric, so that it's not pulling, because if it pulls, it's hard to make a straight seam for one thing, but it also twists your fabric and makes the tensions go funny. It gives you a really pretty flash of red when the dancers kick up their feet. So. That is finished. I will be making a total of 6 this year, but because they're all done between January and 1st of April, 6 is about as many as what I can handle. This is the part that you will see this entire thing, and that goes around and ties. And they have to be inspected on the dancer with wooden shoes and all of their socks, because they have to make sure that the length is proper. All of the beads have to be worn. Everything has to be worn just as if they're performing. You can see all of the gathers again on the waistband. And the tiny little piece of trim that I just put on bottom.
If you move it over an inch, about right there, we don't want it to be too far over.
We're here to look over the costumes and make sure that they are ready for the dancers to dance in.
Maybe.
Maybe. You know, there's a lot of adjusting, a lot of, you know, this is what will work, this is what you can do. you know, here are the things to check.
Are the shoes comfortable for you?
With the socks.
Yeah, with the socks you're okay?
Can they move the way they need to dance? When you're dancing and performing in front of a bunch of people, the last thing you want is for something to come unsnapped or unhooked. We want no wardrobe malfunctions in this.
Good job, girlie. It looks beautiful on you.
But this is the first time we really get to see everything put together, and so it's kind of a fun time for everybody.
Did you hook your petticoat on the right hooks?
The dancer costumes look a lot like the general community costumes, but they're not. They have hooks and snaps and ties and pieces in different places that make them have the ability to move and withstand all that vigorous dancing all week.
It's perfect then.
Most of the time, the costumes end up coming to inspection very good, but there are sometimes adjustments that need to be made.
There's been so many people that came to my house that said they just love your walk.
This is what we've worked for, and our seamstresses in the community, you know, they're kind of the silent partners in the background, but it really is an effort on the part of the whole community.
Congratulations.
Now the festival has almost arrived. We're at dress rehearsal here tonight in Centennial Park. We have dancers dancing around the park, kinder dancers around the fountain in the middle of the park. And this is where we really find out, are the costumes as danceable as we think they are? There's a lot of excitement. There's some nervousness, because it is a performance. And I say, yes, it is. The whole street is your stage. We had our first dress rehearsal last night, and it was quite wet and quite rainy. We do dance rain or shine. I have just a fantastic staff of dance instructors and costume directors who, they work so hard, and it really is a labor of love. They just give hours and hours, time and time to help community members, and the reward of all that for us is to look out there and see dancers and friends and family just enjoying themselves. Dutch dance and the Tulip Time Festival really put Holland on the map, and people come from all over the states and even internationally to come to our festival, and the dancers are a huge attraction. One of the main reasons people come to the festival, and the dancers know that. They're very honored and very aware that they are representing not just the Tulip Time Festival, but also their school and their community. It's the heritage of our community, and we celebrate those who went before us and built what we have here. We're grateful for that, and so it kind of commemorates that whole thing. But it's just I feel like it's just a great big community party.
How fun is that? All the pageantry and color and excitement of Dutch dancing. It's just fun to watch every time. We're so glad that you joined us this year to listen to and watch all that is Tulip Time 2014 for our little recap. If you'd like to watch some more, please tune in to vimeo.com/City of Holland, and you can watch all the other Vimeos as well. We'll see you on the next show.